Cardoso with the miss. Angel Reese picks it up, what she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up. Jones with another block.
What an embarrassment. What an absolute embarrassment.
What if I told you that Chicago Sky fans moved from Angel Reese is the future to can we get a refund in emotional stability before her box score dropped? Fans are questioning not only her stats, but also their own life decisions after she had the lowest plus-minus in the WNBA. Did the Sky select a walking turnover machine or a baller? This meltdown turns a soap opera into a meditation vacation, so fasten your seatbelt.
Reese picking up right where she left off, breaking more WNBA records, but unfortunately for Sky fans, it came in the form of a loss, 99-74. The Chicago Sky, you're seeing that.
Fans of the Chicago Sky have officially gone into full-blown meltdown mode. Furthermore, a tornado warning is not the cause. The reason for this is that they have now accepted that Angel Reese could be the basketball equivalent of a sneaker turnover. You would assume the team unintentionally signed a traffic cone due to the extreme emotional collapse among the fan base this week, yet no trade is required. They drafted one and even provided her with a personalized nameplate and locker.
There is a true crash out in the Angel Reese congregation. The Angel Reese congregation is losing their minds. The podcasters are losing their minds. I have seen video comments. The fans of Chicago are trying to fire the coach. They're now finally calling out Angel Reese for her lack of fundamental skills. And after we witnessed what we witnessed last night in that one specific clip, holy Lord, it is getting...
Let's begin with the cruelest statistic in basketball history. The WNBA's worst plus-minus. Yes, it is correct. Angel Reese is not only having difficulties. She's changing the definition of tanking a stat sheet. Wait, is she secretly a double spy for the other team? Fans wonder as they watch her play. Because the opponent is benefiting from whatever tactics she is employing. She isn't even padding stats at this point. She's cleaning them as if it were spring cleaning.
Angel Reese, that was the worst game I have ever seen her.
And just when you thought things couldn't get any more crazy, the supporters are suddenly using sarcasm as a weapon like seasoned soldiers. I tried to buy an Angel Reese jersey online, but I couldn't get it in the cart, one person commented. That joke is performing better than her field goal percentage in terms of stats. Waiting for her to declare the crowd racist for noting that she plays like a confused traffic cone on defense, another person commented. When your own fans are making fun of you like a Thanksgiving turkey and you manage to garner more attention on social media than her entire offensive game, it's a whole new level of irony.
Look, we got to be honest about Angel Reese here. We've got to be honest. She can't score layups. That's a fact.
The unfortunate thing is that this isn't even a sharp decline. This has been a slow, spiraling descent from an extremely precarious height. Do you recall how Angel Reese abruptly vanished in the last moments of the previous season? Gone. Poof. And what became of the Chicago Sky? Yes, they began to win once more. She resembles a reverse Lucky Charm. The scoreboard descends into agony while she's on the court. Flow, points, wins when she's not using magic. Who would have guessed?
Did Angel Reese break? I didn't say it was a good record. I never said that. Shout out to you, Priceless. I missed this. Historically bad shootings with a E emoji. Angel Reese goes 0 for 7 from within 4 feet of the basket to tie most misses from that distance in the WNBA over the past 10 seasons.
The fact that Angel Reese didn't enter the league covertly is puzzling. No, she arrived with more anticipation than a promo for a Marvel film. The comparisons of oneself were flying. Big words, bigger ego. And now we have a player that plays for 32 minutes and has the same effect as a folding chair. The way she refuses to pass, you would think she was allergic to AIDS. She's out there tossing up blocks like it's a masonry factory, while 4 wide-open colleagues on the periphery are all waving like they're hailing taxis in a blackout. Let's also discuss that bricklaying. It's more than just missed opportunities. Missed growth, missed IQ, and missed opportunity. The paint has been transformed into a construction site by Angel Reese. Fans clutch their breath every time she drives, not out of joy, but out of concern that someone could be hurt by the ricochet off the backboard. In order to have a watchable game, some supporters are even pleading with her to sit out once more. However, perhaps we're all being too severe. Perhaps she's just trying things out. This could be considered performance art. Perhaps Angel Reese is here to question our basic understanding of what basketball is, rather than simply play the game. Perhaps she is a power forward who is actually a philosopher. Or perhaps, just possibly, she's still believing that a losing team's stat padding somehow equates to excellence. The problem is that if your stats aren't even soft, you can't pad them. They have sharp edges. They are antagonistic. They resemble numbers if they could strike you in the face.
So much last year that this was a player that was on the level of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has a bad day, goes 11, 6, and 4, foul trouble. Angel Reese on the same day has the worst day of her life.
The media circus is another. The brigade always shows up whenever someone dares to criticize her. She's quite young. She requires time. She's picking up knowledge. It's amusing since there are rookies in the league who are also learning. However, there doesn't appear to be a math issue on their stat sheets. IT has nothing to do with youth. It has to do with not wanting to change. It's about showing up to the league with more tweets than footwork drills and hoping that people won't notice that you're playing like a regular at the YMCA. The body language is also inappropriate. It's visible to you. The eye rolls, the pouting, the impatience. Seeing a teenager grounded from their phone is comparable. The conflict is where is the responsibility? After being, one would anticipate at least some humility that outperformed by athletes without even a shoe deal. However, we receive the same old arrogance, without any support. She would be the MVP if confidence, without skill, were a sport. We haven't even discussed the defense yet. What defense exactly? Angel Reese plays defense as if she were walking by. Yes, the basket has a drive. Sis, good luck. Someone is available for 3, I see. Now is the time to pose for the cameras. Even the dial-up internet makes fun of her since her rotations are so late. She seems to be allergic to contesting injections. She also jogs back as if it were a Sunday walk in the park as someone blows by her.
I mean, I hate to see it, honestly. Like, I wish her stats was better. Honestly, I really wish her stats was better, so I'd be like, word, definitely a Caitlin Clark competition, let's go. But you really not doing me or anybody else that wants you to do good any kind of favors with stat lines like this.
Cardoso with the miss. Angel Reese picks it up, what she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese.
Great rebounder. Pass the ball. That's all you got to do. Get assists. You be like the double-double of assists and rebounds. You ain't got to worry about the points. Have your teammates score. I don't understand. I ain't hating. It would be a lovely fucking competition. You know what I mean?
However, at least the fans are slowly and painfully awakening, similar to discovering the lip syncs of your favorite band. Before she smashes the scoreboard, the same supporters who once yelled, Rezisen, are now tweeting that she should be benched. People, this is a historic reversal. More quickly than she turned the ball over, Chicago Sky supporters turned against their purported savior. The merchandise sales have also stopped. You can tell it's genuine that way. The main desk at Sky must be sweating profusely. They place large bets on a name rather than a game. And now they're seeing a PR catastrophe in slow motion from courtside. The tension in the stadium could be reduced with butter each time Angel touches the balled knife. Will she shoot? Yes. Should she? Never. Will it enter? Unless God intervenes, that is, the aftermath is also seen in the dressing room. The staged interviews and phony smiles won't fool you. Nothing destroys team spirit more quickly than someone hogging the ball, missing layups, ignoring open shots, and then blaming the system. Chemistry doesn't lie. The system isn't the problem. The referees are not to blame. The coach is not to blame. Sometimes the solution is painfully straightforward. You.
When it comes to the beef between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, let this fact sink in. If Reese didn't miss her layups and become a rebound merchant, she would get a lot less criticism. This rivalry would also be a lot better because the two could compete. And if she doesn't start improving basketball-wise, there's not going to be much of a rivalry left because Caitlin Clark has owned her so far.
It's true that she attracts spectators to the game card, just like a clown at a birthday celebration. But eventually you want to see basketball, not balloon creatures. Spectacle doesn't take home titles. Substance does. And at the moment, Angel is only providing unadulterated frustration. Really, it's a shame. The league could have benefited from her enthusiasm, charm, and flair. Instead, we were given a walking TikTok highlight clip devoid of any real highlights. A machine that goes viral but lacks veracity. A player who has perfected the art of remaining popular for all the wrong reasons. She engages in more than just matchups throughout each game. It's a master lecture on how to avoid making the switch to the pros. The frightening thing is that this could only be the start. The spiral will become steeper if there is no growth, no contemplation, and no course correction. Fans have already seen it. Most likely, the coach notices it. Oh, and the opponents are circling like sharks. Angel Reese does more than simply fight defenses every time she takes the court. She is struggling with expectations. She exaggerated her expectations, comparisons, and she gave encouragement. They're now backfiring. Furthermore, you can't bluff your way through a season in the WNBA. Eventually, the box score, the scoreboard, and the disgruntled supporters' gaze all reveal the truth.
The beef between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, let this fact sink in. If Reese didn't miss her layups and become a rebound merchant, she would get a lot less criticism. This rivalry would also be a lot better because the two could compete. And if she doesn't...
What should we do next? Chicago may have to make some difficult choices. Perhaps bench time. Trade negotiations, perhaps. Workshop on self-awareness is sorely needed because you can only observe a brick wall collapse on itself so many times before you realize it wasn't a structure. IT was a front. Everyone was watching Angel Reese when she entered the WNBA. She is now demonstrating to us what happens when hype and hard reality collide. Will she rise to the challenge or continue to pull the sky down with her? Fans aren't waiting to find out. They've already changed their minds. Yes, but depending on whether you're Angel Reese or, well, anybody with a functional basketball IQ, it simply continues getting better or worse. Let's discuss plus-minus, the statistic that distinguishes box score illusionists from adults. For whatever reason, Angel Reese had the poorest plus-minus in the WNBA. Furthermore, that isn't even a joke. Her stat line is this to do that. You must truly dedicate yourself to being awful on both ends of the floor. There is no offense. Defense is not required. Team spirit is in jeopardy. It's not just a poor game. Performance art is what this is. Why Am I Even Here is a full-fledged interpretative dance.
Last night, Angel Reese played 27 minutes. I think there's only 40 minutes in a pretend basketball game, which is 40 minutes too many. But in 27 minutes, Angel Reese had 12 rebounds, with 8 coming on the offensive end. 8 offensive rebounds. Angel Reese went 0 for 8 from the field and scored 2 points. 2 points in 27 minutes.
And at last, fans are catching up. God bless the Chicago devout, who made an effort to maintain hope. They actually did. They purchased the glamour photos, the t-shirts, and the hype. They watched with the expectation of seeing the next WNBA phenomenon emerge. Instead, they received a lesson in disappointment served cold, accompanied by 0 assists and missed layups. You see, purchasing an Angel Reese jersey online is quite similar to seeing her play. Perplexing, annoying, and ultimately failing. Fans of Chicago Sky are now anticipating the inevitable as they wait for her to turn the alcohol into a dramatic speech about tyranny. Missed free throws are a social justice issue. You can tell that something has gone wrong when your own supporters are psychologically preparing for your upcoming press conference. Who could forget the previous season's magnificent finale? Just as the Sky was about to begin, Angel Reese performed her trademark disappearing act, You know, winning like magic, but the kind where the magician disappears and the performance really improves. Some refer to it as a coincidence. Some refer to it as the most obvious sign since Moses split the Red Sea.
First thing I want to focus on is this right here, okay? Now, she only did this one time, but I do not want to see her doing this in any other game, okay? Now, let's go ahead and take a peek at what happened, all right? She gets the rebound, she goes up, misses it. Good fight, gets the rebound again. Okay, we're going in. That was a good look. Gets the rebound again, goes up again, misses it, get blocked. Now we're trying to go up again, gets blocked. Like, this is what I don't want to see, okay? Now, first attempt, okay, right? First attempt, all right, whatever. Boom, you get it right here. Now, honestly, in my opinion, give the ball back to the top of the key, all right?
Let's be truthful. Making wide-open layups into physics experiments would be Angel Reese's most consistent skill. It's like watching someone run through molasses when you watch her run a quick break. The only player who can halt a transition play by participating in it is her. A turnover wrapped in attitude and accompanied with inspirational sayings that mature like unrefrigerated milk. A stat sheet that appears to be a joke cannot be covered by designer headbands. She has succeeded in redefining the concept of a negative plus minimus. Angel isn't inflating the numbers. Gravity alone is pulling them down. Even her rebounds, the kind that bounce off her own failed shoots like she's practicing for solo, are dubious at act. It's not basketball. How to Waste a Possession in 4 Dribbles or Less is the title of this one-woman performance art act. We must eventually stop blaming her colleagues, the referees, the spectators, and the haters, and start referring to it as a self-inflicted basketball catastrophe. This is not a stage of growth. Regression with pom-poms is what this is. More minutes are not necessary for Angel Reese. She requires a therapist, a sabbatical, and a reality check present packaged in box scores from the last 5 games. And the group. They must act as though this is all a part of the learning curve because they are trapped in a hostage situation. No, this isn't a curve. It's a nosedive. A high-definition kamikaze mission.
Reese, part 33. I mean, it doesn't get better than this, man.
Reese, part 33. Let's get it. Only lost by 25 this time. Bang! That stuffer coming hot with the stats. She went 0 of 8, 5 turnovers, and she got 1 hit stick. Bang! She had 12 rebounds. 8 of them were the me-bounds, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get it going. How about it? Bang! Again, there's another me-bound. Let's do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. Do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. One more time. Bang! Wait, you're allowed to pass the ball?
It's not hate when Chicago Sky supporters turn against their poster kid. It's respect for oneself. They've shown patience. Throughout the Brickfests, they have clapped. They've put up with the Instagram story preaching and stat padding. They're awake now, though, and a fan base that eventually opens its eyes is the most terrifying thing for a brand built on deception. Additionally, Angel Reese will only be leading in inadvertent humor if this pattern persists, because her stat lines are currently more hilarious than any late-night speech. Chicago Sky, you had a time, but you're locked in a nosedive rather than rising. Unfortunately, it appears that Angel Reese is the one operating the aircraft while holding a selfie stick and keeping her eyes closed.